Hello, my dear Virgos. Welcome to my channel. We're going to go ahead and do a general reading for you today. Please keep in mind that my spread does not necessarily follow any traditional spreads that you may have seen. I did create it to balance my cards specifically with one another. So you may find that it is not very conventional, if you will. We'll go around in this cycle pattern where it goes to the past, within, above, and then forward. And then we will find all sorts of different meanings to this situation, to your intention, and also to the positions of this spread. So at the bottom of the deck here, this one actually flew out while I was shuffling as well. We start here with the King of Fire. So some creation happening, going on, could be career focused. I'll just leave the bottom of the deck there so you can see it. You are an earth sign, so we'll see what comes forward here with starting with that fiery energy. So right in the center we have abundance. Now it may have been upside down, but I do not often do role reversals, so you'll see me flip them forward. That may drive some people nuts, but that is just how I've learned to read. So just note, I probably shuffled these and they were all upside down because I usually keep them all right side up. So in the past here we have desire, and we have right in the center there that Ace of Fire, where we also pulled the King of Fire. So that fiery center that's being held at your core is coming through for you. This just means that, and we have the dragon here as well, so this very powerful core value system is something that's going to be coming forward for you. And we have faith. And this is in the quadrant of your mindset. So the universe may be reminding you to have faith. It could also be that you're doing self-reflection work and you have been working tirelessly to kind of master this. Right at the beginning, it was desire, and now it's faith. And as we move forward here, the universe says there's a choice here for you. This is up here, the spirit realm, spirit messages. And moving forward, taking action, we have perception. Interesting. So there is a bit of a shift that is being asked of you in terms of what you see and what you focus on. So an interesting place for that to come forward, but the universe does want you to move the energy in some way, direct it in a different, maybe not in a different direction per se, but just with different focuses or momentum in mind. So that's what we're going to go ahead and pull next, is the momentum behind the situation. And we're going to see what's going on in the mindset, what drives your mindset forward. The Knight of Bows. This would be wands or fire. So the Knight here with the King of Fire, represented by the fox, which is very left-brained, very much about forward action. And that little bit of tunnel vision could be what the perception is all about. So momentum moving forward in the action, physical action. This is the Five of Stones, or the Five of Pentacles, and it's endurance. So we have a child here at the mouth of the cave, and they've lit a fire. There might be lightning in the background, having kind of a tower energy, but they are protected. They have the cave, they have the fire, they have clothing. They're going to be okay for the night, right? So this is about protection, protecting your assets, protecting yourself, and moving forward with that driving force of in order to be okay. The bottom of the deck here, we have the King of Bows. So the King of Wands, or the King of Fire. Duplicated message there. And this is represented by the adder. It's a type of snake that's in Northern Europe. And they do this competitive dance for leadership, dominance, breeding rights, that type of thing. So it could be that there's a bit of a challenge and comparison going on that could be driving the situation behind the scenes. So what I'm going to go ahead and pull next is what might be suppressed right now in your mindset, something that's not necessarily been in your awareness. Yes, it's all in your head. It's called the flashover, the number 11. So very good spiritual message here for you. But this is just about not really being in the present moment. Yes, there's a lot of creation happening. There's a lot of drive. It's kind of like the New Year's resolutions are still very predominant in your mindset. And what is happening is you're looking down, your eyes are closed, you have a mask on, right? You're looking down. So the present moment is here and ready for you. And so the universe says there is a change waiting to happen. And that is definitely what it's about, is perceiving what the present moment has to offer. At the bottom of this deck here, this is what they're calling Maximus, and it says, how can you feed others when your own table is empty? So this is definitely about possibly being in the present moment, right? The table is empty, so where have the people gone? If the people are disappearing or having a rough time with trust and that type of thing, for you personally, perhaps it's time to look at where your presence lies. So let's get some spirit messages up here on this journey, this path, and perhaps having two choices, being stuck in a decision-making phase. Okay, we have peaks of joy. I love this one. So an angelic being there who's floating on the clouds and climbing ever upwards. And there, it's a 3 and a 3, so another duality there. This is also has a butterfly up in that corner, if you can see. And this is about dancing with the universe rather than struggling to get by. This is about enjoying your hours in the day. And also, we all have an hour of power. And this is something that is highlighted in a couple of my other decks that are Native American based. And they teach that there is an hour, literally, in the day of which we have the most energy and feel the most aligned. And so at the bottom of the deck here, we have this tower type energy, but it says solitude, and we have the moon there, we have the clouds here. It is kind of like a marshy land, but it's like a light tower, right? It's a place for shelter. So we have, again, this like, it reminds me a little bit of like a vision quest, right? Where we have the person at the cave doing an overnight, and then we have this solitary existence here with the lamppost and the moon, and getting a new perspective, quite literally, by removing yourself from the situation at hand, perhaps, in order to find that trust between you and the universe. It's kind of a strengthening between you and your spiritual journey and manifestation, law of attraction. It's kind of a urging to go forward to that. So if you do feel called to things like that, I do Akashic Record certifications. They're $750 for a 6-week course. You do get a certification and you're able to teach others. I definitely feel that with these fiery centers here right at the beginning of the reading, that there is kind of that need, that contemplating of how can I maybe make more money and have freedom too? How can I, and the how is what's creating kind of this mindset loop of kind of this dark space, which yes, is where we find transformation and solitude and that connection to source. But when we do have the connection to source and it's already there and we're not looking for it or searching for it, then we have this legitimate awareness and this authentic connection to all that is. And then all of a sudden, instead of living here in the mind or the heart, even though it's beautiful to have moments of that contemplation, of that idea of where are we headed and what direction do we choose and who do we want to be, the question instead of where are we headed is the question, who do we want to be? This is very much about embodiment and becoming the person who gets to have all of these beautiful riches, right? The very center of your reading is abundance, the very center of it. So we have a spilling cornucopia, we have gold coins at the base here, we have full cups and we have bursting eggs. So the ideas are fruitful, right? And in your mind, you know, you do understand that the world has your back, that there's this loyalty between you and your higher sources. It's just a matter of trusting them when it really truly comes down to it. When you're creating and you're putting pen to paper or fingers to keyboard, whatever that is for you, and you come time to do the creation, to see it through and push yourself through it, then all of a sudden there's this swift change and it becomes left brain and it becomes, I have to work hard for this and I have to struggle my way through. And so we have the release card. And this is the fall season. This is autumn and shedding what no longer serves us. And to me, this means a mindset that we have to struggle, that it doesn't get to be easy for me, that I'm not special enough to be this, that, or the other. And we live in a world where that's not really the case. We live in a world where we get to be a head chef if we want. We get to be a dancer or, you know, a leader, a content creator, a course creator, a visionary of the next steps for humanity, right? And that is your truth. When it comes down to it, you do know that you have a purpose and that you're here for the betterment of humanity. And that might be why things are so difficult, right? When we see that there are processes that take time, that there are challenges on the road, we tend to get a little bit in our own head and we put our eyes down and then we say, no, this can't happen. I can't allow this to happen. And the universe is here to say, stop that. We have the wisdom here at the bottom of the deck with like a mermaid swimming down, right? And what I like about this is everything is luminescent. There's this lighting up that's happening. And that is what the universe is asking you to change, is instead of letting the light that drives you be something that propels you forward in a way of challenge, let's maybe change that and shift. This one's the next one in the deck. It kind of just came here. Oh my goodness, they're all so good as I just lift them. This is a master. This is the master of creation. He's growing this rose from nothing and his third eye is open and he's fiery. It still has that fiery energy, that creation energy is still driving, but it has this balancing effect. So we have to zoom out, right? This is the same type of character, but this is just the head, the mind, where this is the whole body experience. So that's kind of the change that your guides are leading you to, is release what's no longer serving you. And, you know, it might not be so much in the mindset because the mindset looks quite bright. We have the truth and we have the faith. So it's there. It's just, again, when it comes time for the forward movement, when it comes time to put the processes together and get the wheel turning and, like I said, put pen to paper, so to speak, then it's no longer abundance that we're focused on. It's instead this endurance, this what if I stop what I'm already doing in order to make a shift, and then everything that I have already created begins to crumble because I have put a pause and shifted. So there's this fear of shifting that is going on. So I'm going to go ahead and pull an animal card for us here, and it'll help us to move forward with the proper emotion, I suppose, aspect of self. Perfect. Self-esteem. So again, this is trust, right? The moose is perhaps the king of the jungle when we're talking about the northern hemisphere, the northern states or Canada, right? Because they have this whale tail of antlers that nobody's going to mess with them, right? And they are so tall, but they don't actually have to run very often because they have this stamina about them, and they don't run because they face off with even mountain lions and large animals like that, bears, because they really do not get messed with. So it's kind of time for that. Moving forward, this is what needs to be expressed, because we had here repression. So this is expression, moving forward with this confidence that, you know, I work with the divine sources of earth and heaven combined. I, you know, work with this truth of I'm going to serve the following next 7 generations. And then we have some watery energy coming here for you. This is just the bottom of the deck, and it goes side by side here with this wisdom card at the bottom of the deck of the Sacred Destiny Oracle. So this is representing life mana. So the happiness of earth, see this flowing with the water, allowing things to move without trying to get in the way, really, which is kind of harsh a little bit. And sometimes the cards are that way, but it can be so easy and it can be so fun to flow and to find this abundance that's waiting for us, right? She can do whatever it is that she wants. She could jump on the back of the dragon and, you know, move forward without ever having fear of having to be taken care of or having to think our way through. You know, it's not always the left brain that makes us stuck sometimes in a mindset loop of how can this be done? How might I be able to succeed at this, right? And the how and worrying about the how is taking the trust away. So then day in and day out, you start to think, oh, the universe might not be taking care of me like I had hoped. The foundation is crumbling. I'm now having to sleep outside in my car or what have you. Hopefully not that. But so we have here with the Tao Oracle development. It's this beautiful circle here with it. It's like a gong, I suppose. A gradual process, continuity, slow but sure, adaptability, and a time-honored approach. So again, we have, and I'll do the bottom of the deck there in just a moment, but we have this continuity, right? This flow and this dance where the universe is working for us, right? It's like going down the river and allowing things to bounce us around, but we're still jumping for joy with the waves, right? Thinking of the dolphin. The same energy is present there. I'm going to ride the wave and jump up and out. I'm going to allow things to move and for myself to kind of spiral, perhaps on a mindset loop, but I'm going to learn so much. I'm going to ask my guides for help. I'm going to release those things as they come up. And that's the hard thing sometimes, is just having that awareness at times that, you know, I'm going through a cycle where I'm not sure exactly which way to go in the future, but I do have an unwavering faith in the universe and in my higher sources. And so moving forward does not have to be something that is scary. And on the bottom of this deck, which is the Tao Oracle, we have this Wanderer. And I really love this. It has kind of a Fool vibe, but also put together with the Hermit, right? And he has this long staff. He's an older person, and it says traveling, adventure, movement, coping with unfamiliarity, a pilgrimage, aloneness, and broaden your horizons. So a perspective shift is certainly coming. And it could be this reading that does it, but it could be a variety of other things as well. But another call for solitude. And again, asking for help when it's needed. And moving forward with the knowledge that everything is legitimately working out for your favor, and not allowing fear to run the show, but also not allowing fear to come in at all. And how we do that is just to bring awareness to it when we're in the middle of creating, and then we think, oh my goodness, how is it done? And we start to think of the how, right? And this fox is representative of the left brain. Sometimes he's known to be cunning. And it's not that our left brain is ever working against us. It's not a purposeful situation where we're telling ourselves that we can't do it and we're talking ourselves out of it on purpose. It happens because our subconscious wants to keep us safe, right? And our subconscious is trying to be the protector of us in our dreams, to say it might be easier not to go forward with that pursuit because rejection is hard, because where we're headed might not be as good as what we have now. So moving things around and making waves could be a detriment to us, and we could put our family in danger. But but the big but is the universe wants you to do this thing. It's quite important that you do it. What I'm going to do now is rearrange the cards. And if this is a business pursuit of whatever kind, I do encourage you to reach out to me. I'll put some links in the description box. What I do is I am a spiritual online business coach. So I help spiritual entrepreneurs to make profit online in the business of their choosing. So let's go ahead and rearrange the cards here. We're going to see about the order of things. We start here. The table is empty. The people may be gone or, walked away, and that's okay, but it's because there's been a challenge. They've somehow or another, people have felt the lack of presence, this looking downness, this overthinking, right? It takes us away from the present moment and takes us away from our joy. So the universe brings us a decision of how we might move forward. And it says, rather than being a child in a cave that might be afraid of the morning, might be afraid of the night, there's a storm coming, things are hard, things are difficult, the cycle is unknown. Instead, we're going to move forward with this unwavering self-esteem that says, the circle is turning. I know I can handle it. There's strength in what I know. And I have such an unwavering faith in the universe that now I understand that I can have fun on this journey. I can enjoy this beautiful creation. I'm going to put all these next to each other because how beautiful are those colors that play together, right? The desire plus faith equals abundance. This is the steps of law of attraction right here. I desire the thing. I believe I can have it. I allow myself to receive it, but it comes with a release. We must release the idea that it's going to be hard. The journey is bleak, right? We have to let that go, and we have to come back to our truth that says, oh, let's do this since they're all from the same deck. Wisdom, to know what to release, is our personal truth. This is part of all of it, right? It's this self-mastery that comes from being alone. But what we get is this beautiful watery energy, right? That feels flowy. We have the dolphin and we have the mermaid, and they play together. And, we get this perspective shift by being up at the top of the lighthouse, looking down at the water where the waves are. And, the bigger the wave, the more wisdom comes to the sailor. And the wisdom here that's being granted, that's being given to you, the whole basis of this reading is enjoy the moment and enjoy the waves pushing you and flowing in ways that feel uncomfortable, because being uncomfortable doesn't mean anything except for you're going to approach a new level of being. You're just leveling up. The cycle is continuing, right? With that great circle, that gong. All it takes is a little bit of release work, a perspective shift to think bigger. Put your goals out on paper, right? And then times them by 3, times them by 10, times them by 100. Because once we find this flow and we enjoy that release work, that solitary connection, once that's solidified in that belief with the desire, and then we release that thought that it must be hard, that we have to work hard, the struggle is gone, the tunnel is gone, all we have left is the light, right? It's not that the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel is not what's made up, what's fake, it's the tunnel itself. So I'm going to go ahead and pull one more card for you, just from a brand new deck, just to get one more little piece or a tidbit of information here. I'm going to shuffle backwards so they're face up. My apologies. And I just want to remind you again that there are links in the description box for you all to find and see what can be done. I mean, my business, I launched in 2017, and I have gone, I think, 10 months now, 10 months, and I have not had any lack of clients in those matter of months. And you get to charge your own prices. You get to create as you go. So let's get a message here for that, for those of you who might have a spiritual online business pursuit, since that seems to be where we're going. We have flexibility, another mermaid here. This is kind of a mystical deck here. So it says, gently flow through the turbulence. Life has the ability to shape you, so bend and not break. Beautiful. Put all together there. I don't think we could have matched those together if we would have tried to pick them out of the deck. The mermaid plus the mermaid, and of course the dolphins too. So yes, you might have some water in your chart and the universe is pointing you towards that cups energy, right? That emotion energy, that life mana, that is our emotions, that is our momentum, our driving force. So when that is geared around the dance with the universe and we are giving into the flow and allowing things to take place in order, and we're not trying to force the order and the steps to be 1, 2, 3, we get to do it in 3, 1, 2 if we'd like to do that. There's no rules. We throw the rules away, right? And what we get out of that in return is that abundance and that ability to manifest regardless of what that might be. So mastering your mindset is mastering the universe, and that is really the wisdom here that's being granted. Being flexible and allowing the universe to work through you, being a vessel for the universe to work through you and create miracles. Because I do believe that you may put one foot forward in order to teach others how to do the same. So I do hope that that resonates with you. Again, check out the links in the description box. I'd love to hear from you, and book a clarity call if that's something that interests you. We would just brainstorm about the business that you might launch or might be in the middle of launching and just having some fear, that perspective, and some of that mindset stuff that might be getting in the way of your abundance. We'd like to really work through that with you. So check out those links in the description box. And if not, then I would love to see you next month. So go ahead and push that subscribe button and get those notifications so that you'll be the first to know as of next month when your reading hits. So I will see you all then. I hope you all have a wonderful month. We'll see you then. Bye.